10 to 9, Catherine. Oh, it's been mad on the text today, but I don't know what your opinion is about this.
Well, you called it vandalism earlier.
It's just one perspective.
This issue of graffiti and whether it's art or not. We can speak this morning to street artist Muhammad Ali, talking about people who've been named after famous people. He started work today on a 400-metre-long graffiti mural around the outside of Bradford University's new student village. How will that go down? What do people think of it? Mohammed joins us live now. Morning, Mohammed.
Morning.
Morning.
Talk us through then what this is going to look like. 400 metres long. It's a huge piece of artwork, isn't it?
It certainly is. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the biggest in the country. In fact, it's certainly the biggest I've ever done.
And give us an idea of what it's going to look like. What's the inspiration for it?
Okay, it's kind of focusing on me as a street artist. I kind of like to convey positive messages, something which is something more meaningful than just, you know, some abstract kind of visual aesthetic, really. Rather, something, values which are important, that people of all faith, people with different backgrounds can all appreciate. You know, whether it's seeking knowledge, education, thus being in a university environment is quite, you know, befitting. Whether it's, you know, values of kind of the environment, so all kind of positive values that we kind of want to kind of bring back to the forefront of modern society, you know, these values that we kind of see disappearing, sadly.
It sounds like a fairly abstract idea in terms of people walking past. What sort of images will they actually see?
Yeah, there's certainly, I mean, such a huge length. We're trying to create a kind of a trail almost, that someone can walk around the entire site and see almost the different themes reflected right across. So we're encouraging people to walk around and absorb kind of depictions of, you know, there's the pen, you know, coming from, I've got like a big, huge pen against the backdrop of a kind of an airfield. So the concept of the pen being mightier than the sword, you know, education, these type of imagery, you know, real powerful kind of strong imagery that will inspire people to think.
Well, that's all well and good, Mohammed, but what about those people that say, and this is a view, you could say that when you have graffiti, you have no choice other than to look at it because of where it is. It's in such a public place. Other art, you can close the door on or not choose to go to the museum. So, you know, when people say it's vandalism or it's a mess, how do you respond?
Well, I'm a firm believer that art shouldn't be contained within a certain space, and this is the problem, isn't it? Art is confined to certain places, certain communities, certain types of people even. I believe that art should be out for everybody to engage with. You know, when I was growing up, I very rarely visited the art gallery. So I do believe art should be taken out into the community where we live and our surroundings. However, if the question is graffiti art vandalism or not, my question would be, are the ancient rock carvings from 20,000 years ago or the hieroglyphics from Egypt from 3,000 years ago, is that vandalism? It's an innate part of man's nature to communicate or tell his story or carve his message in a public space.
Yeah, but then there's a big difference between a big 400-metre-long mural that you've created and put a lot of thought into compared to some toe rag that's just gone and sprayed a tag on somebody's garden wall, isn't there?
Of course, completely. I was going to say, I mean, this is just a long tradition. Graffiti doesn't go back to just mindless thugs spray painting, you know. It's part of our you know, of man's existence. But, however, what I am saying is that it's taking that powerful kind of means of expressing something in public and putting something meaningful that can benefit people rather than some meaningless slur on the side of someone's home, which of course I don't, you know, condone in any way.
How long will it take you to finish the mural then?
It's going to take over a week. Now we're going to be here for the whole of next week, all the way up till Friday of next week, where we'll have a kind of a grand finale event. We have poets, kind of, I'm interacting with spoken word poets as well. So while the poet is performing, I'm almost spray painting some of his poetry into the sides of the wall as well. So it's this real kind of interaction between the two.
And Mohammed, were you named after Cassius Clay, Muhammad Ali? Were you?
I was waiting for that question. No, it wasn't actually. It says that Ali is a surname and Muhammad is a popular name for people to have, so just by chance, really.
There'll be many named after you, I'm sure now. Street artist, thank you very much, working on that 400-metre-long mural around Bradford University's new student village.